chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerned. You hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, there you have it. Good evening. Good evening, Cayman Islands. Yes. Good afternoon. Even good night. Even good night to some of you. I'm saying hello, hello, hello. It is good to be back. Fabulous Wednesday here for another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Who's in for it? Oh my goodness, what today has been. I've made 3 attempts to try and get out, and hey, mission failed. But you're live, you're jumping in. I sent out the link, so here we go. Let's get started. And welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration continues to take center stage. I am Sabrina. We are broadcasting from the beautiful Cayman Islands, and it is good to be back with you this evening. Let me say, yes, good afternoon to all of my friends and family over there in the back, and also got a few friends in Little Cayman as well. Even big shout outs to the Caribbean region. UK, you're not forgotten. Nope, not at all. And there's a particular bunch of people that is still on vacation, just decided to extend. Yes, somewhere in the United States of America. Well, I'm saying good afternoon to you as well. You know exactly who I'm speaking to. But for all of you who are still on vacation, then yes, just hoping that the days will not go so fast. Because yes, it's school time. I just want to say a warm welcome to everyone who's tuning in across Facebook, YouTube. Yes, I'm just saying hi right here at home. No matter what you're doing, it's good to be back with you. And this is Sabrina Speaks, your community space, your conversation space, your summer open mic edition. We're right back here with you this evening because yes, we are proving that every voice matters and every topic has room at the table. So yes, today we're stepping into 2 big discussions, and I consider it, I'm like, what the heck are you doing, girl? I'm going to try to cover 2 big discussions here, or conversations, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. If we don't get finished today, we will continue tomorrow. 2 big conversation that is not only shaping the region, but our future. And in the first segment, what I will do is talk about the AI generation, as you see it, meeting CXC. Now, it's a part of my news. So yeah, just go ahead and share the link. It's a part of the news, but we're going to be doing a deeper dive into that. And what I'm talking about the first misuse cases are already here. And I'm talking about the AI generation meeting now CXC. And parents, students, and schools are asking, what comes next? What I'm going to be doing, hopefully, in this episode is to break it down clearly as to what it means and to share with you exactly what those findings were. And then we're going to be shifting our gears a little bit, and we're going to go beyond GDP. That's still coming out of that report that we were talking about. What Cayman truly needs to grow stronger. We're talking about housing skills, climate resilience, and the real indicators that tell the story of our people and not just numbers. Now, this is not going to be just all talk. I'm going to show you images that, just puts it into perspective. Makes it connect with you. And I understand exactly how much more informative that is. Now, that is going to be hopefully in the second segment of Sabrina Speaks this afternoon. But remember, the mic is still open. Yes, because it is Open Mic Summer Edition. So if something else is on your mind, if something's bothering you, or if you simply want to steer the conversation in a different direction, look, this is your space. This is our community. And of course, the mic is open. So settle in. We're going to get ready to talk. Some of you are just going to settle in to listen, and we're going to grow together here. And as always, we want to thank our sponsor. Yes, I'm talking about Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting, who are seeing clients by appointment only, 938-1337. And they are there for professional guidance, and they are definitely the bridge that helps you move confidently into the next chapter. But please be reminded that the views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are their own, not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speaks Show, or the host. Now, this program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, financial, or professional advice. So all participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully, and any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, or unlawful, harmful as well, is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Now, please be reminded that listener participation implies acceptance of this disclaimer. You want to join in live or send me a WhatsApp? 936-8255 is the number to call. Join in on the conversation, or like I said, send me a WhatsApp message. I always keep you anonymous. Continue to like, share, and follow the page. Yes, with your friends, so you're always notified and you never miss an episode. No, you will not. So let us now take a look at this evening's weather forecast as we turn our attention in seeing what the weather will be like for this evening and into tomorrow. Yes, it is. I got some stuff here coming in, so my apologies. There we go. Yeah, let's take a look at the weather forecast here for this evening. Compliments of our friends there at the Cayman Islands Weather Service. Thank you so much. And it's calling for dry and stable conditions prevails across the Cayman Islands through the next 24-hour period. Now, winds will gradually ease moderate to light from tonight as the pressure gradient slackens across the northwest Caribbean. Now, radar imagery shows no significant activity across the Cayman area. What we can actually forecast, the complements of them, is tonight's forecast is calling for mostly clear with a 10% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall near the low 80s. Winds will be east to northeast, 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Now, tomorrow calls for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise near the mid-90s with a heat index of 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast, 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. There will be a high tide at 5:17 this evening. That's in a few minutes, and a low at 11:45 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow's calling for another high at 3:20 in the morning and another low tide at 10:21. Sun will set this evening at 6:48 and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:08. The outlook is calling for fair and dry conditions are expected to persist until late Thursday. Now, a tropical wave moving across the Western Caribbean on Friday is expected to increase the potential of showers in our region. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, one and all. You're in tune to Sabrina Speaks. If you're just jumping on the live, please don't forget to share it with your friends and family. So yeah, they can join in on the fun as well. Why not? Yes, it is good to be back with you. And we are making it. We're almost there. It is the middle of the week. Can you imagine that already? It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. And we are definitely shaping up and looking forward for a new weekend, a new month as well. And for all of the teachers and all the students, yes, going back to school. Let's take a look at what's making local headlines here this evening on the Sabrina Speaks show, starting with our local news. Out of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, yes, they are seeking the public's assistance in locating a wanted man, Timothy McLean, age 26, of Georgetown. Now, McLean is described as about 5'10" inches, dark complexioned, slim built, with dark hair, and is wanted in connection with multiple burglary investigations. Now, police warned that he should not be approached, and anyone who sees him should note his location and call 911 immediately. Now, information can also be provided to the Georgetown Police Station by calling 949-4222 or anonymously through the RCIPS confidential tip line. That's 949-7777 or Cayman Crime Stoppers. Now, officials remind the public that obstructing police or hiding an unwanted person is an offense. In another local news, right here at home in the beautiful Cayman Islands, we see where Caymanians at home and abroad came together on Saturday, the 15th of August for the annual Making Waves Award, celebrating Caymanians who are making meaningful impact across the globe. Now, in its 5th year, the program honors those excelling in their fields and proudly representing the Cayman Islands on the international stage. Premier Andre Ebanks shared a special video message applauding this year's awardees, with some attending in person and others sending messages from overseas. Now, the 2026 honorees included Grace Byers, Tiffany Jeremiah, Connor Childs, Savani Mitchell, Dr. Larissa Johnson, Amy Watson Rankin, Gunnar Studenhoff, Leah Rivers, Inzangi Bush, and People's Choice winner, Kartik Adapa. Congratulations going out to all of you. The Cayman Islands National Museum as well is also making our headlines here today because we're seeing where they welcomed a group of new educators for a special orientation tour, offering an introduction to Cayman's rich history, culture, and natural heritage. Passport to Success intern Caden James joined education coordinator Narissa Saku Chalet in guiding the visit, helping teachers connect with the stories and collections that shape the national narrative. Now, museum officials says that they're delighted to support educators as they begin their journey and look forward to welcoming them and their students back into the galleries throughout the school year. In another local news from the Department of Agriculture, yes, Agricultural Health Inspection Services is highlighting a major biosecurity success after officers intercepted a live cane toad in an incoming shipment on July 16th. Now, the interception comes just weeks after cane toads were identified as a priority threat during June's horizon scanning workshop, where experts outlined the risk invasive species pose to Cayman's environment, agriculture, and biodiversity. Now, officials says that cane toads can spread quickly, and their toxic secretions can harm native wildlife, making early detection critical. Through the Darwin Plus Biosecurity Project, frontline teams have strengthened surveillance and broader inspection capacities. And this interception shows how preparedness and rapid action can make a significant difference. As we continue here with the news segment this evening, we're turning our attention because it is the season. And Hazard Management Cayman Islands is reminding residents to have a clear hurricane preparedness plan as the season continues. Now, officials says families should start with 3 essentials: knowing where they will shelter, ensuring they have enough food, water, and medication for at least 5 to 7 days, and discussing what to do if they're separated when a storm hits. Now, government leaders stress that building a culture of readiness begins at home and that every household plan strengthens Cayman's overall resilience. Red Bay Primary School has made the Cayman Islands history with an outstanding performance at the 2026 World School Team Chess Championship America's stage in Costa Rica. Now, the school became the first government primary to compete at the event, and Board 1 player, Artie Clark, delivered an exceptional run, scoring 6.5 points from 8 games to secure the bronze medal against top young players from across the region. Red Bay Primary School earned its place after winning the National School Chess Championships earlier this year. An official says the team's success reflects the school's growing chess culture, strengthened through weekly instructions and strong support from the Ministry of Education and the Cayman Islands Chess Federation. Congratulations as well, making us all so proud, locally and overseas. Now let's take and focus our attention on what's happening this evening in regional news right here on the Sabrina Speaks show. We start off this evening by letting you know that the Caribbean Examination Councils is raising concerns after reporting a more than 50% jump in examination irregularities this year compared to 2025. CXC says 128 cases were recorded across the region, up from 80 last year, with breaches ranging from unauthorized devices and materials to collusion, and a growing number linked to misuse of artificial intelligence. Now, officials says the sharp rise underscores the need for stronger exam scrutiny and continued vigilance from schools, teachers, and students to protect the integrity of the regional examination system. We go over to Barbados this afternoon because Barbados Government Information Services reports today that the Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to monitor respiratory illnesses across the islands closely and is keeping the public updated on current trends. Now, health officials note periodic increases in influenza, RSV, and other respiratory viruses, and are urging Barbadians to maintain good respiratory hygiene, especially around vulnerable individuals. The ministry says ongoing surveillance remains essential as seasonal respiratory activity fluctuates, and it will continue providing updates as new data becomes available. Jamaica's Information Services is reporting that Jamaica Defense Force has officially opened its new base beauty salon at Up Park Camp as part of celebrations marking 50 years of women in military service. Now, the ribbon cutting was led by Chief Defense Staff Vice Admiral Antoinette Wemyss Gorman alongside Private Shaquan Small. The JDF says the facility supports the welfare of service women on base and reflects its continued commitment to improving the working environment for women across the force. And in international news here this evening, we are getting news that, Ebola outbreak in Central Africa is now have surpassed 5,000 cases, making one of the fastest spreading Ebola emergencies on record. Now, international health officials warn the virus has spread rapidly and says the risk of further national and international transmission remains high. With responders struggling to contain cases across remote and insecure regions, WHO teams continues to scale up surveillance and treatment efforts in as the situation remains far from under control. As we wind down this section of the Sabrina Speaks regional and international news, we get news on a new line of vehicles are making its way right now to the United Kingdom. And I'm talking about China's Chery automobile. You heard me right. China's Chery Automobile is expanding its footprint in Britain with plans to open a new research and development center at the UTAC Millbrook testing facility in Bedfordshire later this year. Now, the company says the center will help tailor its vehicles to UK driving conditions, focusing on chassis dynamics, steering, and advanced driver assistance systems. Now, Chery's UK Chief Executive Officer Gary Lang calls the move a major step in the firm's long-term strategy as Chinese brands continue rapid growth in the British market. The new center is expected to open in late autumn of 2026, with future work expanding into autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. There you have it. A new line will soon be on the market. I wonder when you'll see it here. That concludes, yes, I said it. That concludes our news from regional, international, and local here this evening. Welcome, welcome, one and all, as you take your time to stroll in. It is that time of the day. Yes, and you're hearing us. This is Sabrina Speaks. It's good to have you joining me here this evening, of course, as we're here for another hopeful, informative, insightful, engaging, because I want to hear from you and something we can all take away after an episode. And you can say, I never saw that one. Yeah. I'm getting that takeaway every evening, but it's good to be back with you on this Wednesday as I look forward to the weekend. And yeah, we got some celebrities around today. Big celebrities today. And I'm talking about those who are celebrating birthdays. For all of those who may have missed, happy birthday to you today. If you're celebrating it today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. But there were some that we couldn't forget, even if they're in a time zone, different time zone. Happy birthday, Rochelle. This is Connie Bonnie's daughter. Yep, she's celebrating her birthday today, even though it's 11:22. Yep, I'm talking your business. From all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks show, I know your mama is definitely one of the cornerstones, like so many others, even if they don't even comment. We know, but we are honored to share and celebrate with you today. Happy birthday, Rochelle. Many, many more to you, and God's blessings to you always. Yep. It is our honor. And another big superstar as well, we're celebrating Mr. Mark Rickman. Anyone who's into boating and that sort of stuff, or if ever visited Harbor House Marina, you definitely know Mr. Mark Rickman. And for all of my Red Bay peeps and my Prospect peeps, you know who I'm talking about. You would know him on the ground. Yes. We're wishing Mr. Mark a very happy birthday. It's been a minute, but we want to celebrate you today. We are, for one, saying thank you. This is a man who gives selfless, gives of his time, no matter what. Mr. Rickman is there. And hurricane season, this man is on his toes. He's reaching out to hazard management. He's keeping it together. Yes, Mr. Mark, wishing you many, many more birthdays. Godspeeds to you, and hope we can catch up very, very soon. Happy birthday to you from all of us. That includes Cara, the whole crew. You know who you are. And definitely, I can take this personal plunge on behalf of those who know the Red Bay and the Prospect community group. Yep, I'm doing it on their behalf for you. So many, many more. Please. And look at here. Look at her. Miss Joyce Ann as well. Yes, all of these people are celebrating birthdays with Miss Joyce Ann. I'm seeing all the love coming through for all the posts that I did today. And just like yesterday, my gosh, these things are still counting and you're still sharing the love. Let me tell you, all of these persons that are showcased, they're seen around the world. And it's amazing, people that have never been here, but a lot of you, they hear us talk about you and they're like, oh, please say happy birthday. And then they're commenting and they're like, I don't know who that is. I say, they know you though. So you guys are superstars all over, and we're more than happy to celebrate with you. But Miss Joyce is another one of those stalwarts and one of those who is gives of her heart, always praying for me. Yeah. She always, oh God. But Miss Joyce, we are wishing you one of the happiest birthdays, many, many more. Godspeeds to you, cover you, protect you always. And if there's ever one sincere person, loyal when it comes to loyalty and a true friend, she definitely is one of those persons that you got her in your corner, you got her for life. You got her for life. She will fight for you. And I'm quite sure I could say the same for the other two that we're showcasing here. I know for sure Mr. Mark is, this is where you have these personal relationships as a host on these platforms, but we could dedicate an entire show to all of these beautiful persons and for all of those that we have showcased. But it hits home when you have a personal relationship with a lot of these people. And I can, through the little time with Miss Connie, I can only see a glimpse and speak on behalf of her daughter. But when I've had working relationships, personal relationships with Mr. Rickman and Joyce Ann, it's just to a different level. And I'm seeing it based on the love, the respect, and the appreciation that is being shown on our platforms. Happy birthday to you. Many, many more, and blessings to you going forward. And sure, of course, keep the love coming in. We don't mind it at all. And like I said, for those maybe celebrating anniversaries, happy anniversaries to you guys as well. Wishing you many, many more. So yes, it is our pleasure to celebrate these with you. And you know how it goes here. We are not going to be remiss of those who are in our community that is mourning the loss of a loved one. No, we're not. We are going to definitely be sharing our thoughts and our prayers and extending our love to you as you navigate this time. And we know that it is not easy. I am telling you, it cannot be easy. If you've ever lost someone that is very dear to you, near and dear to you, that pain is indescribable. And we just want you to know that you're not alone. We are here with you, and we are sending you our thoughts and prayers as you navigate this time. Now, this is time for our community update, and I'll let you know what's going on here. Because here we go. It looks as though we're doing this so often recently that, oh my goodness, it's just, I had to look to make sure that I wasn't repeating this. But no, this is a new scam that's out. And I'm going to share this with you because now this one is Postal Service. I'm like, what the heck? The Cayman Islands government is warning residents about a fraudulent text now. Listen now. This one is claiming to be from the Cayman Islands Postal Service. We've had a tranche of this earlier on in the summer, just before the summer. This is another one that's coming out now. And the scam message tells recipients that a package cannot be delivered and urge them to click a link to update the information or make payment. Now, officials stress that the Cayman Islands Postal Service will never request personal details, financial information from you, or delivery of payments by text. So anyone who's receiving this latest scam now coming from the Cayman Islands Postal Service should delete it immediately. And if you require more information, or report suspicious text that you've received, you're urged to contact the Cayman Islands Postal Service customer care, either at CIPS customer care at gov.ky. And residents are encouraged to share this alert to keep the community safe. So it's there, it's in circulation. Please don't get caught by this. If it doesn't feel right, trust me, just don't even go there. So yes, this is another one again. Yesterday, it was the whole DVDL ticket and whatever, paying fines, whatever. Now today, it's this one, another postal one. So it's, I really had to look at it to make sure that I wasn't making a mistake, but no, this is a fresh one. So I'm not repeating myself. This is a new one now that is in circulation, locals. So residents as well. So just be aware of that, please. Also, this is a reminder from the Hazard Management and the Department of Environmental Health, and they are issuing an important reminder after a nesting green turtle was recently found with a fresh boat strike injury. Now, despite the serious damage to her shell, the turtle was still able to nest and return to sea. But officials says not all turtles are so fortunate. And this is a stark reminder that during nesting season, adults turtles spend more time in Cayman's coastal waters and must surface to breathe, making them at this very critical time vulnerable to fast moving boats. So a collision can cause devastating injuries and sometimes be fatal to these turtles. So you're being asked to slow down, stay alert, watch for turtles, and residents can follow the journey of Cayman's tag turtles at doe.ky, and that's /turtle tracker, and also on Instagram at sea turtles at seaturtletracker.ky. So this is the one that was found, and that's a big gash that is in its shell right there. And as we wrap up the community segment here and letting you know things to know for this evening, it's summer. You've been hearing sightings of sharks, barracuda bites, predatory fish. Well, listen, the Department of Environment's shark research team is encouraging residents to report any shark sightings along Cayman's coasts. So officials says that these reports help track local shark activity and strengthen ongoing research into Cayman's coastal shark species. Now, if you spot a shark, email sharks@gov.ky with the time, location, and if you're able to have gotten a photo or a video. Sightings are then added to a database that dates back as far as 1996. So residents interested, hey, there's an opportunity. Residents that are interested in joining the Department of Environmental Health's Citizen Science Program or the Shark Logger Network can email sharkloggers@gmail.com and learn how divers and snorkelers contribute valuable data all year round. So there you have it. So if in case, and please, we don't want you flooding these people's stuff with, false information now. Just keep it serious. We just want to make sure that you, that everything here goes smoothly and you're not providing wrong information, because we know all of these intertwine with science, with what's happening in our waters. And of course, that has far-reaching implications as well, because that could impact, yes, our tourism product. We want to make sure that we got our water safe. And hello, I was hearing the debate and I had to smile this morning, ocean versus sea, going into sea or shoreline. And we know how we are out there. And I've heard some stories of our fishermen, all our guys that go out and make their living from the sea. Oh boy, they see some things out there, some big whoppers as well. That's how big they are. So yeah, let's do our part and only provide real and factual information, not to create a panic, because that's resources. Should there be something and it's reported wrong, that could require some resources going out there that if it's, not true, we could be wasting people's times. So please do not do that. Just make sure you keep it real, keep it factual, so we are not wasting precious government resources. Okay. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I see you, Connie Bonnie, in the house. We celebrate with you. North Carolina Love is also here with us this evening. Good evening, Marshall. How are you this fabulous Hump Day Wednesday? Yeah, you fast. I'll tell you a little later. I know exactly where your headspace is. You are something else. Damian Henry is with us. He's saying good evening, all. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Yesterday's challenges are behind us, and today offers a fresh chance to embrace hope, overcome obstacles, and create a brighter future. Each sunrise reminds us that every day is an opportunity to grow, move forward with purpose, and approach life with renewed confidence and determination. Thank you so much, Damien, for those kind words. Damien Henry's the man of the words. I've got to find you around anniversary time, Valentine's time, or just making trouble time. If I need some lyrics, I can find you. Yes, Connie is sharing the love, and she's here. We share the love with her as well. Wishing everyone a happy Wednesday. Yes, different time zone. You are more than welcome, my sweet. Yes, yes, yes. She was spoilt today. Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Connie is also sharing happy birthday wishes to Mr. Mark and happy birthday as well, and all the best, as she's saying. And she's also sending love for Miss J as well, Miss Joyce. And dear boy, she's been a star today. And I did that reel that shows her family and all of that. You see her starring? No, she's starring. Miss Barbara G is in the house this evening. Good evening to you, my love. It's always a pleasure to have you streaming us on YouTube. Yes, the links are there. If you follow the CMR channel, those links are there. Just click it. It's easy. And once you're on there, subscribe. Subscribe to whatever platform it is, so you're not searching for us if you hear from us, hear from your friends for sure. Connie is saying, when will they stop? Oh my God, I got another one today again, but I'm send them up where the sun. Yeah, I know. You have been, it's like your number is in a database. You're always getting these things. Oh my goodness. Jeez. I haven't, there's only one. No, I haven't gotten any, but Eric got a call. But I haven't gotten any. And to see all of the different platforms that I'm on, oh my gosh. Yeah, but me, even when, especially if it's a bank or something, even when they're really trying to get me legitimately, guess what? I ain't responding to none of them. And worse, if it's a bank that's emailing me I don't do business with, that's even more crazy. But yeah, so yeah, Connie, I don't know. But yep, be safe. Better be safe than sorry. Live Happy is here with us today. Hello, how are you? They're saying, I noticed that the turtle population is increasing in Cayman, and that's great. Yes, yes, yes. DOE need to remind visitors and locals not to touch the wild sea turtles while in any water activity, and that is the law. Thank you, Live Happy, for that as well. Yes, and it's the same thing when they go to starfish. And I'm not so sure this interactive thing with the stingrays out at Sandbar and all that sort of stuff. I'm not so sure how interactive that is, because we know that that was a part of the attraction. But definitely you see where from out by the Sandbar, where that impersonal and all of that sort of stuff has come to, it's opened up this door now that it's extended beyond stingrays now and all of that. So yeah, but thank you for sharing that with us. Always good to have you joining us today. Now, please be reminded that Green Valley Nursery is there. That's okay. That's okay. Better don't make a mistake and call my phone. I'll blow them up. Oh Lord, don't answer, because while you're answering, they're capturing your voice. If you don't recognize the number, Connie, just don't even answer it. I'm sorry. I've been blocking left, right, and center to tell you the truth. But of course, this number is worldwide. So yeah. But they would have to catch me on this line because this is live. So, but on my other device, I have a family one. Nah, I don't know you. You're blocked. You're blocked. You're blocked. But thank you for that. That's a way to go. Please remember, Green Valley Nursery is located out there in Lower Valley. Yes, Donnie is more than happy to share with you some beauties where it comes to flowers. And I'm talking flowers, some of these, even though these came from our, yes, Damien on the road. He shared this with us, but I know Donnie has some of these as well. And look at these beauties. Aren't they beautiful? They're beautiful. Those orchids yesterday were just gorgeous. And so was that purple hibiscus that you shared with us. Was it a hibiscus, Connie? That purple one was beautiful. But yeah, I want to thank Damien for sharing these beauties with us, as he is our new addition content creator in Bloom here, joining Dawn and Donnie and Connie Bonnie here in the group. But yes, Green Valley Nursery, located in Lower Valley, right here in Grand Cayman, open from Monday to Saturday from 7 until 4 p.m. She'd be more than happy to actually help you. Yes. Connie is saying, thing is, Auntie, I do busy with I too busy overseas companies, and oh yes, so they can catch you easy. Ah, that's why. Yes, based on the line of work that you do, Connie. Yeah, you are very much. Yes, you are susceptible to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. 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 Oh, the Rose of Sharon. Really? Boy, I'm learning some stuff from you guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Thank you for sharing with us, my love. Yes, much, much appreciated. Well, I had to laugh today because I had all plans to go out on the road today, and my dear, I did not make it out. No, no. So I stayed here, did what I had to do, and I was ready. Normally I am, I wouldn't tell you, I'm usually always on time, right? But in case if you're a follower of the Sabrina Turner community activist page, then you will see the post that I made almost half hour before we went live. And this is why you don't give people like me time, because then I sat here waiting literally at one point, just tapping, waiting for time, which is a good place to be in. Please don't get me wrong. But then I started messing around with AI and I took a selfie and said, okay, how can I do this? Now, look at that. You can see I'm not lying because I'm dressed. I was literally waiting on time today. Thank you, Jesus, that I was able to do that today. But to show you how AI works, that's not even my hand. That's not even my hand. Look at that. That's not even my hand. But I was having fun with this and I'm saying, on time or waiting on time? I didn't prompt it to show a hand. That's not even the picture that I took. It was a regular selfie, not me showing any pointing directions or nothing like that. And look at there, because it went with the caption that I typed in, it automatically raised my hand. That's not my hand. So I tell you, when you look at these things, all I could do a laugh. I could do a laugh, but this is what happens, when you give people like me time. We make trouble. We find friends who not got nothing to do. And if it was a case where it was a weekend, I would be calling people and I would be provoking them. But today I just decided to do a selfie. And boy, did AI get me back. They said, you got time on your hands? Let me see if you will realize that this is not your hand. Well, I did. So thank you for the messages that I got. They were like, I got some from some friends, but Sabrina, that's not your hand. Your nails are, see, look, that's not my hand. It's not my hand. But it blended quite nicely, didn't it? Yes, the power of AI. And this can make you do, and this is why you have to be so careful. These things can implicate you when you're innocent. When you're innocent, because I did not do that at all. I did not. I don't even wear a watch. Haven't worn one from 2024. I haven't worn a watch from 2024. So yeah, but all I could do, like, oh my God, you see that? You see that? Look at how that can get me in trouble. So be careful, guys. And just like how these scammers are out here doing all sorts of foolishness, me just having some fun. Look at what it did me. Look at what it did me. And I'm gonna share. I could share the picture with you that actually came from. And yeah, that's it. There we go. I'm going to share with you where it started out. So it's not so bad. It really didn't do too much of a bad job still. Because sometimes it can come out really distorted. And you got to play with it a little bit. It all depends on what you subscribe to. So there. That's where it started. Okay? That's where it started. And this was the finishing product. Look at him. They even gave me kind of like a brow lift. Yep. And gave me somebody else's hand. So yeah. Oof. You give me time and you just have fun. You just have fun. But I just thought I would share that with you because let me tell you, if somebody say it wasn't me, it puts a different meaning to that song. It puts a total different meaning to that song. So be careful, guys. Be careful. Like I said, if you're just jumping on the live, you're in tune to Sabrina Speaks. Yes, we're broadcasting from the beautiful Cayman Islands, and you can catch us right here live from 5 until 7, Monday to Friday, right here on the CMR platform. And our conversation this evening is inspired by two big moments that are shaping right now across our region, and I'm going to get into it with you all here this evening and just bring it up for awareness more than anything. It's that time of the year, and it is. I'm seeing it definitely making headlines around the social media space, and I thought it was fitting for me to put it because we have shared the timeline for education and the collection of CXC results and all those sort of stuff. Well, first part, we're going to be talking about the CXC results, and they're in. And students, yes, are celebrating. Some are crying, they're reflecting, they're planning their next steps. Families are having those kitchen table conversation about what comes next even, and teachers themselves are reviewing their class performance and preparing yet for another year of shaping the future's minds and our men and women of tomorrow. And then later on, if time permits us, because you know how we do it here, if you call in 936-8255 and there's something else that's bugging you, guess what? We don't mind. We can shift gears and we can give the mic, because it is open mic, as the summer edition here on Sabrina Speaks continues, where you steer it, save from when we do not, save by when we have guests. That's the only how. But like today, if you want to go in another direction, 936-8255. Until such time, what I'm talking about is in the second half, we are going to, which is just, days ahead, we're going to be looking then at the landscape of the Caribbean and talking about the usage of, when we look at what's happening in our GDP and how that's impacting us. We dabbled into it a little bit, but we're going to do a deeper dive this evening. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to be breaking it down, because going and starting back with the CXC and digging a little deeper in that, you saw me covered it in the news. It isn't just a news headlines. What it is, and I think it's coming to a harsh reality, is that it is a wake-up call. It is a sign that our education system, and we have been talking about that one or two times here, is entering a total different era. And one where technology in itself is both a powerful tool and a potential threat, as we're seeing here, to academic integrity. But there's a flip side to all of this, but you got to stick around to find out. Because will everybody now be painted with a broad brush because they have excelled and done so well? Will you always be giving them a side eye? Oh, this one got 12 passes, 15 passes. Are they now going to be given a side eye? Did you use AI? Is that legit? Hold on, it is a reality. But later on in this discussion, we can look at it from that perspective. You see, where the innocent suffers for the guilty. So it is my endeavor to break it down as best as I can. What happened? Why does it matter here? What it means for Cayman students that are about to walk into classrooms as early as next week. And that's not only the students, but the teachers as well. So yes, please continue to share the live. Please click the thumbs up button and follow us. Yes, so that you don't miss an episode. If you're liking the content we're sharing here, please, we won't mind a heart. Yes. And we don't mind you commenting as well. Where's Andrew today? He's late to class in Aliano. I wonder if he's on Jerry Springer Beach. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. What we are seeing, and you can double check this for you. You can go on the CXC website. All the Caribbean news headlines as well is actually picking up on this. We're seeing that right now, and I had to do some research to do a deeper dive, so I will have to refer to my notes, okay? What we notice here is that education in the Caribbean is like everything else. Life, no matter what sector, is evolving. And it's not only evolving as we have done, that's life, but it's evolving faster than ever. And what I'm talking about where evolution is concerned, we're talking about artificial intelligence, AI. Artificial intelligence tools are now a part of everyday life. I use it to be more efficient here, clickety split to fact check. And that's not to say that we should be 100% rely on everything, because there are certain things that it spits out because I know what I'm expecting and I know it's just making sure you tailor it up and that sort of stuff. I'm like, this is rubbish. Redo this. Where did you get this from? I literally question it. And sometimes it answers me back and it gives me attitude, literally. And I use multiple platforms. I'm being very honest. Me and that go head to head. I don't just leave it so, because I know what I should be expecting. And I look at multiple sources, reliable sources. So sometimes just listening to the first prompt and feedback is not always 100% factual. But you can't take away from it that artificial intelligence tools are now a part of everyday life. In businesses, in our day-to-day lives with helping us organize. And looking back into the education space now, from homework to help research, to writing, practices, to creative projects as well. That can help you, give you some ideas. And students, teachers, we all use them. Yes. And as parents, we do as well. But there's a but. With this new technology comes new responsibilities. And we have some of the younger generation, some of the younger kids in school that are very much advanced in the use of multiple AI tools. That's not always bad. But where does it put them when it comes to outsmarting a system and no longer using 100% of what they've learned, the concepts and all of that sort of stuff, but they're totally using it, AI, meaning to help them through coursework and so forth. What CXC has discovered is that they're reporting that 128 exam irregularities this year alone. And that is a significant increase because last year they saw 80. And for the first time, artificial intelligence misuse is officially topical and on the list. And what it is telling them and telling us is something that is really important, because exactly what I alluded to a few seconds ago. Students are experimenting with artificial intelligence, but not always in the right ways. And the truth is, to be honest with you, many of the students don't fully understand where the line is drawn, where that line is. They know that artificial intelligence can help them write. Of course, you see it all the time when you pick up your smart device and you're scrolling by, do this course here, we're offering this, get to know this platform, get to know that platform, want to write a thesis, want to write a this one. Oh, in 2 minutes, we can get it done. And what happens after the video? They're out with their friends, they're doing this, they're doing that, and having AI do it in the background. We've all been exposed to it. We've all seen it, right? But these students also know that artificial intelligence can help them solve a lot of these issues. But they don't always know when it becomes cheating. And that's why the conversation really matters, especially now, as we enter this new school year and as CXC is now discovering. So let me break it down as best as I can based on what I found out. When they talk about examination irregularity, this is an action that breaks CXC's rules. That traditionally, what this means, it means unauthorized devices such as phones or smartwatches, collusion, where students taking these exams share answers. And also, what is traditionally meant by irregularities, it would have also included unauthorized notes, right? Impersonation as well. Someone else doing the exam. But now, hello, a new category has now been added. And that new category is artificial intelligence misuse, AI misuse. And what this means, as it is added now to the irregularities in their definition, it means that students use artificial intelligence in ways that violate examinations integrity. And the key point to this in my findings and in multiple articles that I read is that the AI misuse don't happen during the physical sit down papers, No, it happens during the SBAs, during the digital submission, online assessment, and coursework that must reflect students' own ability. So it's not like at least they haven't discovered that yet, when they're going into the big auditorium and they sit down to do their test. No, that's not the time. It's their coursework during the term that they're seeing. But isn't that what we're seeing advertised as these apps that can make your life so much easier, gives you more free time, give you balance? But are you really doing it? No. And this is what the article is pointing out. Yes. And this is the first time that CXC has had to formally address AI as a part of exam misconduct. And they are definitely sounding the alarm. So when you see this happening or breaking it down for what can be considered as misuse, this is because this is where parents and teachers really need the clarity and understanding. And you really need to have a keen eye, because there are some student networks out there as friendship circles that many of the parents, you just go there, you go for reporting session, whatever, you're very a part of the PTA, and not all of you know exactly, really the bonds, the friendships, but these young men and women, they are tight. So let's talk about really what actually happened. What happened here is that when students submitted their SBAs, this is what the CXC discovered that triggered the alarm, because they saw a particular pattern, right? When students submitted their SBAs, they were clearly written by AI. And examiners who are marking these papers noticed. You will know when it's written by the individual, if you know your student, versus something automated. It is just something cryptic about it. It's not, it's very blah. It doesn't show the student that you may have learned over the years, right? And what they discovered is that there were identical responses across different students, from the writing styles that didn't match the students' previous work. And AI generated graphs, images, and data. And what they also discovered is that some students even submitted entire projects that were AI generated from start to finish. Remember what I told you? There are apps that are right there on your smartphones for a nominal fee. You can get these things to do it all for you, literally in seconds, some cases, okay? Another thing that the examiners noticed is that they uploaded exam questions into AI tools. This was something. And what they noticed is that this is a serious breach, because what they discovered is that students copied CXC questions and paste them into AI platforms. Guess what? Guess what you think? to get the answers. And this violates exam security. And not only that, but copyright rules. There's a third element to this: the misuse during electronic testing. And in this digital components, what they're using here, what they found out in this e-testing phase is that the students attempted tab switching using browser extensions as well, and running AI apps on hidden devices. And what CXC's monitoring system flags, that automatically came up as suspicious activities running in the background. Yeah. I'm not so sure if a lot of you have seen when you're on scrolling, where you would notice people like are in an interview or doing a meeting with their employer, that it looks as though they would put a gel or something on their hand and just put it on the screen, and all these stuff come up on the screen, and they're asking the questions and the boss is thinking, or they're having an interview or something, and that time there is something else that's like an overlay over the screen while they're speaking, but all of the answers are right there and you're not seeing it. Similar to what I'm doing behind the scenes when I'm speaking and I'm dragging in other pictures that you're not seeing. You're only seeing me. But there are multiple screens over sometimes what I'm doing that you can't see. And it's the same thing during e-testing that they have observed is happening in the background as well. They have also noticed that in subjects like English, visual arts, and digital media, what students submitted were all artificially written poems, created artwork, AI edited photos like the one I showed just now, and AI generated videos. And many a times you need to have a keen eye and a keen ear to pick up. Some of us who are in this field can pick up it instantly. Instantly, you can pick it up. And some apps are more advanced than others. But for someone who is new, not so keen with picking up certain things, trust me, you can be fooled. And I've had to end conversation where persons have down swore me that it's legit. And I'm saying, nope, it's AI. You could tell me that I'm real. Nope, it's not real. And sometimes you really got to just end it for your own sanity. And then eventually it will reveal itself that it was fake. You got to know. And if it is something that they're going to come a time maybe that if I'm not paying closer attention, I'm going to get fooled too. But they are becoming so realistic, and anything can be bought right now on certain platforms that can make things become real. You just need to know how to do the prompt and understand the language and know what application, what app, what platform does certain things. Because as it is right now, there is not just one app for everything. No, there are multiple. You could be working with 9, you could be working with 12 to just do one project, because one usually has its strength and the other one has its weakness. It would be similar to life. You wouldn't actually hire a plumber to do your electrical work, right? Or you wouldn't hire a mechanic to necessarily, one who specializes in cars, to come then and look at your AC, unless they are trained in both areas. But you get the concept. I wouldn't go to a gynecologist if I need my dental work done. Oh, that was a weird, oh gosh, please just get that out of your head. But you get what I'm saying. So yeah, so it's the same thing with the app world. It's the same thing. I'm horrible with analogies, so please pardon me, and please don't be offended by anything that just came out of my mouth. So yeah, but it's the same thing when it comes to the app world, to be honest with you. And why this matters here in Cayman and in the Caribbean region, it is very important because, like I said earlier, this isn't just about cheating, you know? This is about credibility of the Caribbean education. And if AI generated work replaces students' efforts, guess what happens? Grades then lose meanings, skills aren't developed, students themselves enters university unprepared and will fail miserably. Employers themselves will lose confidence in regional qualifications. And international recognition of CXC credentials is also at threat. CXC now must protect their integrity of its exams. And I'm happy that they caught on this very early, but the fact is that it has jumped from what they've caught from 80 to now 100 and whatever the number is, sorry. That says how much more slipped through. And students as a whole must understand the bigger and grander scheme of things, that shortcut today becomes huge setbacks tomorrow. And right here at home, where our students compete globally, not only right here, we're competing globally for scholarships, university placements, job opportunities. Academic integrity is not an option. It's not optional. It is essential. Damian Henry is weighing in. Before submission of any coursework, we use the program Turn It In to detect AI usage and similarity checks. AI guideline is always important because some universities allow a certain percentage, a certain percentage of it to be used. You just got to declare it. Okay. Yeah. But right now, with what's happening with the exams is that it's gotten out of hand. And that is becoming a huge problem right now with CXC. And you know us here in the Caribbean, we depend on that. And it is a trusted institution for helping someone path. That's the foundation of their resume, getting in, as we said, university and college, and getting a job. So there are consequences, though, yes, because CXC has made it clear. They have made it clear they're going to protect their brand. And AI misuse is serious. They have made that absolutely clear. And students who are found guilty may face canceled grades, disqualification from the subject completely, disqualification from the entire exam cycle. And guess what? A permanent record of irregularity. And this, if your son or daughter or family member or friend gets, unfortunately, in this category, this can affect university admissions, scholarship eligibilities, job opportunities, and definitely future academic credibility. This is not a slap on the wrist. And CXC is taking this serious. This, my friends, is long-term consequences. Now, CXC is just not punishing misuse if you're caught. They're redesigning the system. That is what is envisaged. And the major reforms that is expected is a paper that they call Paper 032, and that is replacing most of the SBAs by 2028. So obviously, if they found this big breach in that particular paper, the paper number is 032, and by 2028, they're going to be replacing most of the SBAs. And what they're actually going to do with these changes is that they're going to be clearer guidelines on acceptance versus unacceptance, unacceptable AI use, like what Damien was alluding to. It's going to be clearer guidelines, clearer drawing the lines in the sand so that everyone has a clear understanding of how far the use of artificial intelligence can go. And teachers themselves will training on AI ethics themselves. I have heard some students right here at home that says it's obvious in some classes that they go to, it's everything chat GTP. And that's from instructions that has been given to them. And it tells me then that these kids are saying, hey, we on to you. You telling us we can't use it, but you're using it to give us coursework. And we're going into chat GTP. I'm not a student. I don't know. I'm just hearing some of the conversations. So teachers training on AI ethics will also be a part of the reform as well. And stronger digital monitoring during e-testing will also be beefed up. And warnings to students about uploading personal data into AI tools is another big thing that will be a part of the reform. And what these reforms are meant to do is to modernize assessment while preserving CXC's integrity. So as our students prepare for the new year, 2026-2027 academic year, it is very important that it is clear, not only from the school standpoint, but just bring an awareness to this, that AI is allowed for learning. That has replaced my days of running to the Georgetown Library, looking for encyclopedia. If you weren't fortunate enough to have an entire set for yourself at home, later on in life, my grandparents got a whole set of encyclopedia, and that's what we were using until then we got access to computers for those of us who were fortunate. But we know that you have to do your research and you got to get that information from somewhere, right? What you need to know is that this AI is allowed for learning. They're not going to stop that. It has to be integrated. They're not getting rid of it, but not for producing exam content. That's where the line in the sand is drawn. And teachers as a whole will be stricter about digital submissions as well as some of the things that we need to be prepared for. And some schools may be introducing serious AI policies. Now, here you go again. Now that this is making serious Caribbean headlines, I'm quite sure this is going to be far-reaching and it's going to end up globally. Because if it can happen and these anomalies can be found at CXC level, I'm quite sure the other examination bodies are going to be subjected to the same. Students, however, as well as they prepare to go back, must learn responsible AI use, and parents should monitor how their children use technology as well. Don't be scared of it. Here I am, ripe old 52, and I am blown away every day by how I have invested in myself and become much more open-minded at the use of AI. Having fun, getting somebody's hand and all that foolishness, but that's just the fun part. I do deep research. I prepare, and I'm telling you, there is no way I would be able to deliver some of the information at the pace if it wasn't for the assistance. But you still have to know, that infamous line, garbage in, garbage out. You got to know exactly what to prompt. Because if you feed in rubbish, I tell you, it's going to give you rubbish. It's going to give you loon foolishness. And people will know exactly whether or not you know what you're talking about. Yeah. And it's the same thing with teachers getting to know and learning their students. They will know when it's not your voice. You don't think for all of this time that I have been here on this space that you guys have picked up a certain style, and that if there's a particular post or something that I say or even write, you would know, well, that don't sound like Sabrina. Her personality is like this. Oh boy, she's pissed. Oh, she's being diplomatic. It's the same thing with teachers. You get to know your students. You get to get an idea of my personality, but that sounds a bit off. That don't sound like her. Yeah, it's the same thing. So when something is 100% artificial intelligence, People na foo-foo. Which is why a lot of the posts that I post when I celebrate people, you will know the difference if I know the person individually, personally, because there are things that artificial intelligence cannot pick up of personal experiences going back and knowing and having a one-on-one relationship with that individual that I have to key in, and then it polishes it up for me, but it's still my words. And that resonates with the recipients because they see and they feel and they hear me in what is put in. Something that is just blah or very professional or this, you will know, well, she know that person, but not that personal. She can't share those personal stories. That, yeah, you will know. And it's easy to pick up. It's the same thing when you're monitoring your kids. It's not like all of a sudden they have just become geniuses overnight and they're giving you top notch. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You gotta be switched on and don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it. So this school year will be the first where we're noticing there's going to be a change, and a change where AI literacy becomes essential and not optional, but making sure that it is used responsibly. Damien says, just like how the world is moving into technological era, so does all these examination bodies need to keep up with the times to face or face the consequences. Students can challenge it because AI cannot 100% prove that they are cheating. AI often prompt that they are not always accurate, and that's protecting themselves. There's something I think, I only caught a little bit of it, hearing something about somebody or some organization suing Meta because of addiction to young. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can find that news article, something about the addiction to young people and being addicted to AI and being addicted to different platforms or different things or devices. And it's like, woof, people are sounding the alarms. This is not what we intended. Yes, we wanted it. We need it. Yes, it makes our life easy, but there is an addiction. I'm going to look into that a little bit more, but there's something I saw or heard on one of the big news sites, or there was something I was watching where Meta is now being sued for addiction of young people or whatever. If you know about it, just comment below or send me a WhatsApp 936-8255. But I'm going to try to look at it to see how it really then, Damien, connects with this conversation. So yeah, at the end of the day, you're right. And it aligns with exactly what I said. It aligns quite nicely. Hey, Miss Dorothy, good evening to you. I trust that you're well. Always good to see you jumping on the live and letting us know you're there. Always pleasure to have you with us. Now, when you look at this, right, I want to take just a few minutes before we go into the other discussion this evening. And please be reminded, the phone lines are wide open, 936-8255. Should there be something else that's bothering you and you want to just jump in on the live, that's fine. We will stop. We will entertain you. 936-8255, but we end at 7. We end at 7, so just be conscious of that. Please allow me, before I wind down this section, to just pause right here and talk about, how it could be already affecting students right here and across the Caribbean. What I'm talking about, and I alluded to it earlier on, when we talk about AI misuse, cheating, exam irregularities, there is really an honesty another side to the story, It is what we would call the quieter side, but a painful side as well. And that side is the reality. The reality that good students, hard-working, academically just invest, honest students may now be doubted because others chose shortcuts. And that's not fair when you look at it. That's not right, even. And it's something we need to address openly. Because, like I said at the intro, will some of these walking across that stage now get a side eye? Wonder if that legit, they did CXC or what? I wonder. You get where I'm going with this? When that could be furthest from the truth. So, there is the shadow that falls on honest students when you look at this. Let's imagine, right, that a student who worked hard all year, really did the grunt work, did all this, they stayed up late, they wrote every word themselves. They practiced, they revised, they improved, they earned their grade. But now, because of these allegations and proven cases that have come to light, AI misuse is happening around them, and their authentic work might be questioned. Teachers may look at a strong essay and wonder, did they really write this? And that doubt, my friends, that suspicion doesn't come from anything the student did. It really comes from what others did and are doing. Chance. So this is the emotional cost of AI misuse, where the innocent suffers for the guilty. The guilty creates a shadow, and the innocent, that innocent person must walk through that shadow. But there are three big reasons, to be honest. Yeah, there are three big reasons. AI detection tools aren't perfect, as Damian Henry pointed out. They can flag genuine writing as AI generated. And teachers are becoming more suspicious. So it's not all loom and gloom for my good students out there who are genuinely doing it all organically. Teachers are becoming more serious, especially after seeing cases of misuse. Sudden improvement can be misread, and a student who genuinely grows may be accused of using AI. And what this is done and is doing could actually elevate is that it creates that chilling effect. And students may feel afraid to do well, afraid to improve, and even afraid to shine. There's the other side of this. They may be scared of getting all of those trophies, all of those awards when they really genuinely earned it. And that's the opposite of what education should be. This is sobering facts. This is the flip side of it. So how do we protect the innocent? Layer it on. Yeah, because this is where the shift from problem to solution, because we cannot allow honest students to suffer for the guilty. And that is where mental anguish, bullying at another level. Can you imagine? You're being chastised for doing it all right. You're being looked at because you've earned it. And now, because others have chosen a shortcut, you can't bask in your moment that was organically attained. What a sick world we're living in, isn't it? What we need is clear, fair, transparent systems. And those systems needs to be put in place so that they protect authentic students' work. And when you say about what that is, because here we are, this is another layer of us teachers having to shoulder this. Well, guess what? We're going to end up losing a lot of our organic kids to these who are just using AI if we don't tighten up the bootstraps. We don't want the opposite of what education should be, to actually be the loudest voice in the room. And some of those things are exactly what we alluded to earlier on. Clear AI policies in every school. Yeah, clear AI policies. And process-based submissions as well, where I guess you'd have to see the draft notes and outlines. And then teachers training. Here we go again. An evolution of authentic students' voice, where you are going to be forced to know your students. It's not just, oh, yeah, that one isn't, I know them by name, but do you really know them? That is another layer that our teachers are going to be forced to enhance, to become more alert, to become more aware. Yeah. You have to be able to know that student's authentic self. And appeal systems as well. Appeal systems for students who are wrongly flagged. Can you imagine? That's almost like proving your innocence after you've toiled and did all of those work and did all that submission. Now you going to have to go through to prove that you didn't cheat and you earned it. That would set anybody plumb crazy. And young people, we know that they're struggling anyhow. Here's another layer of reality that shows the other side of the coin in this subject. We're going to be looking as well for balance assessment methods that don't rely on one single piece of work. So you're going to have to show a pattern. So whatever you're doing this school year, you better keep it up. Because if you come in here and it's not making sense, and all of a sudden, by the first quarter of the school year, you just shut up. That's flagging. But then here we go again. Here's the flip side. What if it is really clicking that subject? You understand the principles. Well, how? Were you doing extra classes? Were your parents doing something? Oh, it just clicked. You see where I'm going with that? I did that deliberately because now that student has to defend themselves by saying, no, this is truly organic, mom, dad, or teacher, or guardian. I really get it now. I used AI tools, for example, to give me the basic principles, and now I get it. So all during that time now, they're going to have, but I genuinely did it. Let me tell you something. I salute all teachers, and I salute all of those children who are using AI responsibly. These steps, my friends, ensures the integrity, if implemented well, is rewarded and not doubted if these things are implemented. But there is emotional toll to all of this, which is heartbreaking, to be honest. Students who do their work honestly could get a sense where they're discouraged, untrusted, overshadowed, and like I said earlier on, afraid their success will be questioned. I'm quite sure many of us can look at this in our adult lives, know that you've done things above board, continuously to do it up above board, and you're the ones that are questioned. You're the ones where their extra due diligence is being done, and the one who's taking the shortcut always waddled to poop and come out smelling like a rose. Seems a little unfair. But now our students are going through this very same thing. And some may even stop trying because they fear of being accused. Some may become a recluse. Yeah. But we cannot let that happen. We can't. Not in Cayman, not in the Caribbean, nowhere. We can't. No. Our students, even adult students, deserve a system that recognizes their efforts, their growth, and definitely their voice. So, for every student, every parent, every teacher, every guardian, I just want, but especially those students. Damien is saying, look, this article currently in the news. Jason Ardy, ex-Cambridge Cambridge professor at the Center of Plagiarism, now found dead. Yeah, that was in circulation the other day. That has been all over social media as well, Damien. Yeah. So there is an appeal here this evening for all of my students. Your work matters, and I'm just going to be very honest with you. Everybody's calling me Auntie Sabrina. I'm going to be your mom, your big sister, whatever it is. Even my adults who are in tertiary education, and you're finding yourself being caught in this, right? Your efforts matter, and your voice definitely matters. And AI may be a powerful tool, but your minds is irreplaceable. That's the key. And if you don't nurture those minds, if you don't use it for why God gave it to us and totally dependent on these things, it's a waste. But as we enter the 2026-2027 school year, I want you all to know this, that we are building systems, those educators and government alike. If I'm not mistaken, I hope I didn't delete it. There is something with CXC and teachers are asked to log on. Did I miss something from the Department of Education? Did I miss something? Okay, I digressed. But I think I found something. Education put out a flyer and I smiled to myself because I'm like, this aligns with my topic today. But I want you all to know that we're building systems. The education systems is aware, CXC, and many others are actually going to be looking at the systems that they have in play now. And they have to be there to protect the good, to support you, to ensure that your authentic work at the end of the day is recognized and definitely respected. And that the guilty will face the consequences, but the innocent will not be left behind. So we have to put a say no on our watch, no in our classrooms, and definitely when it comes to home, not here. And we can use it, but I'm hoping that our powers that be is doing all that they can. There is something. I know that there is something. That our powers that be here is doing all that they can to ensure that you are protected and that we don't fall victims to this. So even though this is the CXC's first recorded cases and actually outlining it, I just hope that, we will never find ourselves into that position here in the Cayman Islands, and that any of these breaches that were actually announced would be any part or any one of us here. I'm hoping that that will never be the case, and that it will never be a topic here because, from 80 from last year to 128, how much more probably have been missed is the question. But we're hoping that whatever is in place, that they have seen them and that we will not have to worry about this ever again. So, there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Andrew, you're late to class this evening, but it's always good to have you here with us as we go into the second discussion here of Sabrina Speaks. It's always a pleasure to have you joining us as I grab some images here and get started for the evening. 936-8255 is the number to call to be a part of the discussion. I would love to hear from you. I'm hoping that you all are really all informed or just be like, wow, this is something serious. Another thing that we have to deal with. I'm really hoping that that's the case and that I'm not boring the bejeebers out of you. But we never leave here any day. I don't ever want an episode to end and we leave here not learning something, being aware of it, or that I'm putting something on your radar. Because we know that artificial intelligence is not going away, but how we use it is responsible, and our future is going to be totally dependent on it. At the rate, I just feel that we need to have a balance. Like I said, it's not going to go anywhere, but we just need a balance. And how we use it in our day-to-day lives to help us get orderly, to just make us exhale sometimes, is key. That is key. So, yeah, I am happy for those of you who are sticking and stay with me as we go and look at the other segment this evening, which we'll take a jab at. And we are going to enter into this conversation where it's another part of beyond the GDP. And what I'm talking about, no, this is not just all numbers. We're going to connect the dots with what's happening, and we're dissecting a certain part of the document, of the report. In case you have not read it, you will see for yourself where we're connecting it in real time with the realities of what we're being faced with here at home. Okay. So I encourage you to stick and stay with me this evening as I break this down with you and what we can and possibly label as part one, as I grab some of the images here to tell a story as we go along here this evening on Sabrina Speaks. But like I said, the phone lines are always open. Feel free to jump in, call in. We want to hear from you. That is not a problem as we continue to be educated and enlightened here on this platform. Okay, there we go. You see like how I'm doing that now? You guys are not seeing what I'm doing behind the scenes, but yet I have to fill. Whoop, you just saw that one though. Yes, we're going to take a look now. Connie Bonnie, good evening, Sabrina. Yes, from Andrew. Auntie, I'm learning a lot. They should have failed, all of them. Yeah, we still don't know what the outcome is, but there are going to be consequences. There are going to be consequences. And this is not a name and shame, but I'm hoping that even if at a higher level, they will say exactly what regions, what Caribbean countries these breaches are coming from, so that we'll get an idea, because we need to know if it's happening here as well. And this is why, like I said, there is something here with education about something online with CXC is going to be doing with our educators here, and everybody's encouraged to go online. Don't be surprised if it's not posted on the CMR platform, but I'll definitely, if I find the flyer, I will definitely be sharing it with you. But once you're on the CMR WhatsApp channel and once you follow me, for sure, I will share it with you for all the educators, just in case you are not aware that this is something that's online and it's being presented by CXC. So, hello. Yeah, that could be all about these new things. And the thing is, when I prepared this, it was after the fact that I saw that. So to show you that it's actually making its rounds and it is serious, their CXC is taking this serious. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting academic year and moving forward into the next chapter. So let's dive in and take our first jab at the KPMG report breakdown. And what we're talking about is housing, climate resilience, and skills, and also Cayman's future. So this is what I want to do. And I want to do, in this segment, I want to do my best in trying to break down the big issues in as layman language as I can, so that we can all understand what's happening and how it affects our everyday lives. Because a lot of you hear about these KPMG reports, the first thing you saying, oh, financial, out of my league. No, hold on. There's a report that is actually sounding the whistle, blowing the alarms, that can evoke change policies and laws, and it will have far-reaching implications if some of the recommendations, if not all of the recommendations, are looked at and understood, and you put it in reality, in context. But what I'm saying is that we want to dive into a portion of the KPMG report that is making waves across the region. And it's about Cayman's future, our housing, climate resilience, our economy, and the skills of our people that we need to have in order to stay competitive. We were just talking about the misuse of AI. And if you don't have it, hello, we identified we're competing globally. Now, this isn't doom and gloom conversation. It's a wake-up call. It is a roadmap that I'll be sharing with us all. And when you look at it, it strengthens our need for maintenance. Okay? What we need to look at right now, let's start with something that we all know. We know how strong Cayman is as a financial district, right? We have solid, say what you want, public finances. And I'll be pulling in images to make it make sense. We are a major global financial center, and we attract investments and talents from all over the world. But here's the big thing. Being strong today doesn't guarantee being strong tomorrow. And in this KPMG report, it warns that the rising housing costs, climate threats, and economy concentrated in a few industries could weaken Cayman's resilience if we don't invest wisely. And this is the foundation of the entire report. For emphasis, KPMG report warns that rising housing costs, climate threats, and an economy concentrated in a few industries could weaken Cayman's resilience if not invest wisely. And this is the foundation of the entire report. Cayman is good, but we need to protect that very same goodness. Now, what we're seeing is new developments. We're seeing the construction. We're looking at a particular part of this report that it didn't really mince words, to be honest with you. And I like. We're seeing where they're encouraging that Cayman must invest in affordable housing. They must do long-term planning because this is where we're coming from. And it's just not a social issue. This is where we're coming from. This is an idea of where we are today. They didn't mince words. They said that we here as the Cayman Islands must invest in affordable housing and long-term planning because housing just isn't a social issue. It's an economic stability issue. And what is found is that when housing becomes too expensive, families themselves struggle. We will see workers leave, business can't afford staff, Cayman becomes less competitive, and our very own young Caymanians feels locked out of the future. We heard that young lady, yes, day before yesterday. And what this KPMG, you gotta know where you're coming from to respect where we are. What this KPMG report is telling our government is affordable housing is economic policy. And there is also some solutions, and we see the Minister for Plahi, he's rolling out a plan. But there was a paragraph that stood out significantly to me when I read it, to be honest with you. And I want to take this opportunity to go just a little bit deeper into that. And that paragraph was one that talked about climate adaptation and how it should be treated as an economic investment, not just an environment issue. So when you hear about sustainability and sustainable and protecting our coral reefs and all of that sort of stuff, protecting Cayman from storms, rising sea levels, is about protecting our very own money, our homes, our tourism, our future. Yeah. This is impacted. If we keep getting battered by all of these storms and all of what we're seeing here, remember, that's where we are today. That's the Cayman of today. This is the Cayman of yesterday. And as we see climate change happening, this will become more prevalent. And in the bottom of this report, the crooks and crannies of this report, protecting Cayman from storms and rising seas is about protecting our financial industry, how we receive our goods, that is wide open, what we put on our tables, all of that. These all have a part to play. Our coral reefs, tourism, that's protecting our money. Yes. When this is happening and we're not doing our part, we don't get to enjoy the luxury of that. That's tourists visiting our shores. Yes. We see where our coral reefs, healthy reefs breaks waves in this report, just digging down into it even more. Less waves, energy, less flooding. Less flooding, lower repair costs. Yeah. These reefs have their own jobs. We see the mangroves. These mangroves act like giant sponges, and what we have proven that they absorb storm surge. They themselves protect inland communities. We see the other day no rain in months, you can say, solid rain. Just with the king tides, what's happening? But this is another thing. And when we think about coastal planning, we have to have the serious conversation about how we build smarter now to avoid those huge and expensive rebuilding later. And climate resilient isn't tree hugging. We're used to hearing that. Oh, all of these tree huggers are getting in the way. Oh, no, it is not. We are protecting. We are protecting. That is not what we're doing. We're not crying down those people, blocking investments. No, we're not. Because there's another layer to that as well, that if you don't protect it, guess what? In no time, it will be lost. And it is going to cost this country, me and you, double, if not triple the money in order to get it back. That in itself can have irreversible damage, and it can definitely impact many people's livelihoods. Yes, it does have its own fair share of repercussions. So don't look at those persons who are trying to help us navigate the future in having the sound and realistic conversations. Because at the end of the day, we saw what happened when we couldn't get certain things in our ports for days. What happens to the shelves? Can you imagine what will happen if that is for a prolonged time and we had an opportunity to make a different choice? But for whatever reason, misinformed, uninformed, not educated, not being aware of some of the recommendations that is included in this KPMG report are not taken seriously. Yeah. Andrew is saying, contingency plan A, B, C, and D is what is needed. And he also weighs in, if we lose the financial stability on the world stage, given a potential global depression, as a question. Next, if we lose our tourism, business and corporate businesses will fall like a rock dropping off a cliff. So sorry to point out that reality in the situation. Our environment is deteriorating rapidly. And bottom line, in this KPMG report, they did immense words into 5 key examples that were outlined in that. 1 are coral reefs. 2 are mangroves. 3, smart coastal planning. 4, Cayman's economic, the whole financial link into to what it's doing in its protection. So at the end of the day, it all is tied in. It's all woven in right there. We look then at, we got some huge businesses here, and we know the key pillar of financial services and what it does for our economy, right? And in this report, the KPMG report says that Cayman relies, and we all know this, heavily on a few industries, especially the financial services. And that makes us vulnerable to global shocks. It is what it is. Don't make nobody fool you. It does. It makes us vulnerable to global shocks. And their advice is for us to diversify. Yeah. Build new sectors, strengthen digital skills, and invest in innovation. These are the recommendations. Because what this is doing is that it keeps Cayman competitive and definitely protects employment. So if you think that this doesn't have a part to play in it, think again. It does. And even though we're building too fast, for who is what the question is. At the end of the day, Damian Henry is right. Balance is what is needed. Yeah. Balance is what is needed. It keeps Cayman competitive, and it also protects jobs. There is another part of it that is looking at this whole economic diversification, right? And when we talk about our roads, infrastructure, and all of that sort of stuff, yeah. In this whole KPMG report, it actually outlines that Cayman's own data, right? It cites Cayman's own information that every $1 invested in construction creates $2.56 in economic output. You heard what I said? Every $1 invested in construction creates $2.56 in economic output. But in the said report, it warns that long-term, we got to plan long-term, use strong business cases, and keep procurement transparent, meaning there shouldn't be any doubts about who gets what contracts, that sort of stuff. Keep procurement transparent. They're also encouraging to build smart and not just building big. Yeah. So all of this is needed. The extension, we see the bottlenecks, we're seeing all of this. This is a reality. It's not saying that we can't do it. They're just telling us whatever it is we do, we have to do it wisely. Yeah, we have to. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen if we just fail? We got cloud computing, we got network architecture, we got these data centers, we got security framework. Now, there's a story about these data centers popping up in various parts of the US that is causing havoc to people in their residential homes. But these are the core components of this for our modern architecture standards when it comes to making sure that we keep connecting, understanding that we are a financial jurisdiction. In all of that, to be honest with you, we're going to have to remain awake to the realities that digital media, digital education, digital literacy will not go away. Technology and training, what we're seeing is increasing in the workforce development. And we have to make sure that our education as well is in alignment with what our economy needs. Because if it falls short, we're already failing. So we will see where, like we're seeing, the use of AI and all of that sort of stuff, that will continue to be the reality of where we're going. Oh yeah, that's not going to go away by any stretch of the imagination. Nope, it's not. Because what it's preparing us for is looking at the investment strategy overall, estate structure, family governance, succession planning for upward mobility, and of course, a part of this, indirect. We don't have direct taxes. That's all a part of it. Yeah. So these increases in itself puts the Cayman Islands in a better position for a lifetime earning potential when we can get all of these right and we strike the balance and you go along with what is actually before our face. Because they attract, you see it right here for yourself. That is what it attracts. And this is why education is key. Having the right tools, access to, is vital. They attract higher value industries. They reduce resilience on imported labor, but we got to deal with it at home. And digital skills for Cayman will definitely be one that we will have to maintain. That is a fact. Another thing that was highlighted in this report, to be honest with you, is that this report is also saying that we shouldn't measure success only by the GDP. Instead, what we should measure our success to is the wealth that lasts, wealth that can last. And that's natural assets, human assets, social assets, institutional assets, physical assets, and knowledge assets. But let me break that down to you. What that is really saying is don't judge Cayman by how much money we make today. Judge Cayman by how much money, how much value each person will still have tomorrow. And right now, if you take a magnifying glass at that, Houston, we already got a problem. And here are some examples. A coral reef is a productive asset. Affordable housing is a productive asset. Digital skills are a productive asset. Income disappears. Assets, in this case, will keep paying off. You see how it's coming around in full circle? These are just clear examples. Yeah. This report also says that what we are doing, that we can actually grow stronger if we work much closer together. And in simple terms, what that meant, because I had to go look that up. Small islands can act like big islands or bigger countries when they team up. We can look at examples such as shared climate data, joint procurement issues, shared infrastructure expertise. This is just broad brush because we're just not limiting ourselves to here, right? And we can also look at collaboration and how that can save money and build resilience as well. So it is not just at surface level. And the mere fact that they actually went here is key. The huge takeaway from all of this is that whatever we are building here at home needs to be able to stand the test of time and build wealth that lasts, not something that would fade away by shocks. I hope that I was able to give you some glimpse or some sort of narrative in that without a producer in the back doing these slides. It kind of complicated what I was trying to get across to you in message. But there's another paragraph in that report that I'll share with you tomorrow as we kick off tomorrow's Sabrina Speaks that will bring this hopefully around in full circle, that you can get a clearer understanding and a better trajectory as to where we're going. Friends, if you hadn't taken the opportunity to read that report, I suggest you do, because it is blowing the whistle and is blowing loud. Now, is this the trajectory that we're seeing unfolding before our eyes? But you, as members of civil society, cannot connect the dots because you've not broken it down or gotten it explained to you as granular as I'm trying to do. So it's not making sense when it appears we're going in one direction, but it's not adding up. These reports shouldn't just be reports on a shelf. And from what is being sounded out loud here in this KPMG report, it is obvious that the alarm bells are sounding and they're in total alignment with protecting us, the people, but also measuring one's success is not just by how much you make, but how much and who, what we invest in, being able to last no matter what we're faced with. I will leave you there this evening, and I want to thank you all for staying with me. For all of those who will be joining this live or watching this episode after it has ended, I want to thank you for visiting my page. I welcome you back. Please don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content that we're sharing here with you as we continue to build in this space, grow and learn, and put an awareness on things that matter. And if you think they didn't before, I hope that based on what little you have heard today, that it will spark you to dig a little bit deeper and not run for the first thing you hear without being fully informed in order to understand exactly where we're headed. I don't have all the solutions, and I'm definitely not the expert, but I do take time to read these reports, break it down as best as I can, and of course, I use AI to help me. But I know it ain't no foolishness that it's giving me, because it's all adding up to what the report is being said at the end of the day. As I take the last comments here, our closest neighbor is Jamaica and is 40 times in size, in population and size. Take notes. From their situation as a smaller demographic can add in our economic growth. Yeah. Good morning to you, Connie. I know it's a new day over there for you. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm wishing you a blessed Thursday. You're a day ahead of us. And just hug that little bundle of joy for us, for sure. I want to say good night. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to another episode of Sabrina Speaks tomorrow, and could have a medley of topics to bring up. I didn't realize I would have gotten through all two of these, but there is another segment that I want to highlight from you. I know there was a lot to unpack in regards to the CXC part of it, and I had to speak to my students. I had to do that. I really honestly had to do that. And to bring an awareness to this KPMG report and highlight one particular area that made me scratch my head and said, I wonder if we've been getting it wrong all along. If you look at their recommendations, there's no segregation and everybody has a fighting chance. everybody will have value in the place we call home. This is a strong report, and it's the first time that I'm seeing it's inclusive, respectful, and understanding. No matter what your social status is, you are a person. You're living here. Climate change, looking at protecting our environment, our resources, and all that sort of stuff. Hey, it puts a total different meaning on sustainability for sure. I challenge you. Go look at the report yourself as we continue to bring it here and keeping it real and live, but it's not possible without your continued support. Please do have a good night and see you tomorrow. Love you lots. God bless. Take care.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.